700 meters left. The race is done here. I gotta talk later.
Dave, it's right in front of him. Here comes Greg Doucette. Greg Doucette, 10 watts per kilogram. So much speed. He's gonna do it.
Okay, welcome to a full day of eating. So I'm gonna be showing you what I'm eating throughout the day. I have a planned bike race at 2 in the afternoon. I'm gonna go through everything, show you some of the recipes, and so let's get right into it. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be making a coffee. It's always decaf. Got my own G coffee. So it's very important to avoid taking caffeine the first hour and a half when you wake up. It's gonna give you more energy throughout the day. Save your caffeine for later. The first time I take caffeine, it's going to be before the race. And so unlike Eddie Abu, I actually understand nutrition, and you can have milk in your coffee. And so what I have is high protein milk. It's got 14 grams of protein and only 80 calories per cup. There's a quarter cup in there, and so that's 3.5 grams of protein. This also has 3.5 grams of protein, also has Hyperzine A and alpha GPC. And so great way to get some energy in the morning, caffeine free. Fruit is a staple in my diet. I know guys like Eddie Abu will say don't eat fruit because there's sugar in it. This is healthy. You want to have strawberries, you want to have blueberries, antioxidants. These are so good. I don't care what fruit it is. If it's a banana, if it's a kiwi, eat your fruit. And so I have 300 grams of strawberries and 180 grams of blueberries. Each of those has exactly 100 calories, total 200 calories. And how do I know this? Well, I calculated everything. If anyone gets my book, all of the different fruits, they say exactly how many calories are in it, and it's in order. You can go and look right through it and find out exactly how much you want in your own diet. And the Greek yogurt dip, one of the simplest recipes you can make, and it makes it so much better. You take your regular Greek yogurt, I have 0% fat, add in some vanilla extract and some sweetener. It tastes absolutely amazing. You could eat it on its own, you can dip it in. Every day, this is how I start my diet. And I understand not everyone is a millionaire. Not everyone can afford strawberries and blueberries. These are like $5 a pound. It's very expensive. But if you can't afford the expensive fruits, they have cheap fruits around the world. For example, bananas are usually 99 cents a pound. Almost anyone can afford a banana. Other things like apples are gonna be a lot cheaper. Oranges sometimes. So rather than worrying about the price of the fruits, try to pick the fruits that you can afford. It is so healthy. You should be eating fruits and vegetables in your diet every single day. And every morning I take a variety of supplements, one of which that I take in the morning, Ecti Builder. Every single morning I'm taking that. You can see I have a ton of these, omega-3 fatty acids, Ecti Builder. I have my liver support as well. And so that is a staple. I know it's a lot of pills to swallow. Remember, you don't need these things, but if you're trying to be at your best, at your peak performance, remember, I'm racing bikes against hundreds of guys. I'm trying to win these races, and so I'm taking everything to be at my best. The other thing I've been taking on a regular basis now is colostrum. I know a lot of people say protein is expensive, but this costs over $200, and it's 2 pounds. So it's very expensive, but I think it's worth taking. If you can't afford it, I understand. I'm not selling this, but it is something that I'm adding in my diet. Remember, I don't just use my supplements. I'm using anything that's out there that I can think of be a benefit to me. And so this is one of the things I'd recommend. And so I like to use either the Silk Almond Milk, which is only 30 calories. It's all healthy fat. It comes from the actual nuts. Sometimes this one, almond, and it has cashew, and it's got pea protein. So this one has 8 grams of protein per cup. So if you're trying to get your healthy fats, you can actually get this here, and it has protein included. Also, because I'm doing so much cardio, I cramp up and whatnot, so I need to take in a lot of Perilite. Gets me more hydrated than last time. And so I'll just put in whatever, a couple scoops, drink that throughout the day. All right, next up, one of my all-time favorite recipes, Anabolic Blueberry French Toast. You get the blueberries on the pan. It's already cooked down a little bit. And all you have to do is dip this bread in your egg whites. I'll show you the recipe later. Also, I'll show you the calories. Put this on the pan, and it doesn't matter how messy you make it. I'm just gonna shove this everywhere. It doesn't matter. In the end, it's gonna taste absolutely ridiculous. You're gonna have 6 of these for breakfast. Now remember, you might not be able to eat that much. I do a lot of cardio, I burn a lot of calories, and so I can handle eating a lot more than the average person. My typical meals are around 3,500 calories. So you shove this in anywhere. It does not matter. And all this extra egg whites, you don't want to lose the goodness. You just make a little spot in the middle and pour it in. It'll absorb into the bread. So You kind of make it like a little riverboat. Make a little divot like you're playing golf and fill it in. And it's going to absorb as it cooks, and then 5 minutes later, you can do the same divot and pour the rest in. You do not want to waste this. If you have extra bread, you can even just shove it on top, squeeze it in there. There's no wrong way to do this, okay? The only thing you could do wrong is not eat all of these egg whites. This is so high in protein. Now, if you're not on a low-calorie diet, you can add in more egg yellows, and it'll add in extra calories. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you are dieting down and you're trying to get shredded, you want to get rid of the yellows. It's got all the fat, it's got the extra calories. It's not that it's unhealthy, it's got more calories. And everyone knows to lose the weight, you need to be in a deficit. Okay, so maybe 5 minutes in, you're just gonna check it out and see how it's doing. Look underneath it. So you can see there's no goopiness on the bottom, so it's ready for some more. So I like to just poke a little hole in there and then add in your extra protein in the hole as it's cooking. See, there's always more that can absorb. The more egg whites you can get into this bread, the more protein it's going to have. So we're trying to make it as anabolic as humanly possible. Anabolic, if you don't know, that means it's going to build muscle, and protein is used to build muscle. And so now we have extra anabolic French toast. So we're just finishing this off here right now, flipping it for the last time. And if you like it a little bit more crispy, you can keep flipping it over, cook it longer. I like it kind of raw. If you like it raw when faded like Travis Scott, don't cook it as long. But if you like it well done, you know, just keep cooking it longer than last time. And last but not least, you have to put on Mrs. Buttersworth. It's only got 10 calories per 30 ml, so you can load up as much of this as you want. Hardly gonna get any calories. Remember, calories in, calories out. Now, are you a pour it on the top or on the side? I'm on the side guy, and so let's dig right into this. Absolutely love it. Even without the blueberries, it's still really good, but the blueberries just, it hits different. And so you can check out the macros on the screen in particular, check out the protein and the calories. I don't actually calculate carbs and fats. I'm not worried about that. If you are, that's fine, but in the end, it doesn't matter if you have a lot of fat, a little bit of fat, a lot of carbs, a little bit of carbs. What really matters is, are you in a deficit? And so as long as you're eating less calories than you burn, you are going to lose weight. All right, and so I'm tapping out, I'm full. Remember, these are very filling meals, so I couldn't quite finish them all, but I did some quick math, and so it's 970 calories in total and 85 grams of protein. My body weight's about 185, and so I'm basically taking in close to half my protein in the entire day just at meal one. And so very easy to get in 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And I'll eat this a little bit later. And so up next is eggy rice. This is extremely easy to make. Everyone's cooked rice before. You make your rice in your pot with your bouillon cubes, okay? Then all you do is fry up your egg whites. I like to use flavored egg whites. You pour this in the pan and you cook it like an omelet. You do whatever you want, okay? Then you pour the rice into the egg whites and you stir it up. It's as simple as that. It's that easy. This is one portion. It's about 1,200 calories. I'm going to eat half of this. 600 calories with just over 60 grams of protein. Very, very filling. And so if you're a guy that likes rice, you're a guy that likes egg whites, why not combine them together? An excellent meal, one of my favorites. All right, so I have a bike race in about an hour and a half. I'm on meal 2. Eggy rice here. We got just over 600 calories. And I'm gonna be taking Turk Builder and GO2 Max. I'm taking 3 pills of each. Now, I caution you, don't take 3 pills unless you're used to it, because this can keep you up at night. It's very powerful, it's very potent. You have to take it to believe it. It gave me steroid-like effects in terms of it made me more aggressive. It makes it harder to sleep. It's kind of like when you're taking Tren and you can't sleep, you have Trensomnia. You could have Turksomnia. I'm just telling you what it does for me. Not saying everyone will feel this, but for me, it does that. So I would caution you, I'd say start with 1 pill, see how you tolerate that. Then you could go up to 2, and I wouldn't go past 2, but I'm a larger bodybuilder. I feel I can handle 3, and because it's earlier in the day, it's not so bad for sleep. But if you took this in the evening, it could definitely interrupt your sleep, at least for me. I'm telling you how I feel, so be cautious. But Turk Builder is legit. It's very, very potent in comparison to Ecti Builder. You'd only need 1/2 as much, maybe 1/3 as much. And so this is something I definitely would recommend. And with my eggy rice, I like to use ketchup, no sugar added, so it's got less calories. And I have my Pepsi and it's diet, caffeine free, so no extra calories. I'm gonna take my pre-workout a little bit later. I only usually take that 30 minutes before the gym. It's now 30 minutes before the race. I'm gonna take 2 scoops of my hardcore stim. Serving sizes are 1, 2, or 3. I'm into 2 servings. I don't need 3. I don't drink a lot of caffeine, so this is gonna really hit hard. Only need 2 scoops. I also take in my creatine at the same time. I get a good scoop in there. And while I'm drinking this, 2 blueberry muffins. It's like a snack before the race. Burn off close to 1,000 calories during the race. And so I need the energy. I've had 2 meals so far today. I've had about 1,500 calories. This will put me up to about 1,800. And then it's race time. During the race, I'm drinking my pre-pump. Keeps me pumped. During the race, I put in 3 scoops. It also contains beta-alanine. Beta-alanine is one of the most underrated supplements you can get. It helps me to go harder than last time. Every one of these races always ends in a crazy sprint. You go like all out for almost a minute. And so the harder you go, the more energy you're gonna put out. And so the harder you go, the more you're gonna get that lactic acid, that burn in your legs. And by taking in beta-alanine, you get less of that. You can push yourself that much harder. Okay, I'm just warming up for the bike race. Got 3 minutes left. There's 140 at the line right now. Probably be over 150 by the time it starts. And so a big race. There's one larger hill in the race, so that's my only challenge, is going uphill because I weigh a lot. The heavier you are, the slower you're going to be up the hills. And so it's going to be tough, but I'm hoping to get the win. My strength is obviously the sprint, because the more power you put down, the faster you're going to go. And so during the race, I'm not going to be chatting. I'm going to be tired. But we'll perhaps show you a little bit. Last week's race I did win. There were 212 competitors. I managed to get first place at the last second. So hopefully this week I can pull out the win. And so this is what the course looks like. It's 22 kilometers, a lot of climbing. And so this part right here, that's the only real challenge of this race. The rest of it's not very steep, fairly flat. So as long as I can keep up this hill, I should have a very good chance of winning the sprint at the end.
About 1 kilometer left. Guys up the road. I'm dead. 700 meters left. The race is done here. I gotta talk later. Here guys goes. They're trying to draft these guys past near the end.
Greg Doucette is back in the house, and he won last week.
This guy is like a superstar in the YouTube bodybuilder world, and Nathan, he crushed it last week. It's going to be really interesting to see. I mean, that group is starting to stretch out in the chase. So,
fuck.
Dave, it's right in front of me. Here comes Greg Doucette. Greg Doucette, 10 watts per kilogram. So much speed. It's going to do it. Greg, oh, man. Doucette comes across.
Somehow, I was able to win that. Guy had a 7-second lead with 300 meters to go. That's basically a guaranteed win for him, but he must have gone all out to get that lead, and he had nothing left. Guaranteed, he never took beta-alanine. The lactic acid in the burn, you can't go anymore. I'm taking all the best supplements, and it gives me enough power to hold on. You see those other 2 guys? I only passed them near the end. And the last guy with the big lead, I caught him. I thought it was no way. I looked up at that sign earlier and said, harder than last time. I said, I won last time. Guy did the same thing, had a big lead. They thought I was done. I said, no, I'm not giving up. Just freaking go. I gave it my all, and I won by a second. So there you have it. 2 wins in a row, 184 competitors. And so you can see the other guys are finishing up now. 100 places, almost 5 minutes behind. So there's a big variation in abilities. 100 place, about 5 minutes behind. You can see as others finish, their times get in. And so when I first started racing, I would have been 10 minutes behind, maybe 20 minutes behind. But I've been doing this for now 5 years. And every year you just get a little bit faster. Progressive overload, that's just like the gym. You get better at cardio. And so the beauty of doing year-round cardio is you can eat more calories. So you might be watching my full day of eating thinking, why can you eat so much? Well, it's because I burn off so many calories. But if you're not good at cardio, you're not gonna burn nearly as many calories. This is the secret. Not bike racing, but movement in general. Walking, elliptical, swimming, hiking, dancing. Just get out and move your bodies. You're gonna burn calories. It's gonna be so much easier to lose weight.
And so up next, it's meal 4. Meal 3 was a snack. I had those 2 blueberry muffins. This is gonna be 2 servings of open-faced hot hamburger. And so I'm essentially just gonna be pouring all this on top. 4 slices of bread, and it's white bread, regular ass bread. It's not gonna kill you. Trust me. Spread that all over. And a cup of gravy. Remember, this is 2 servings. If you're just a regular person, you maybe only need to eat half. Pour that all in, 1 cup of gravy. And the 560 calories, it counts having no sugar added ketchup. And so on top of that, I always include vegetables. Remember, I'm trying to have a balanced, healthy diet. And so about another 125 calories worth of peas and some beets, really healthy food. Add that in, a perfect meal. This is optional, don't need to have it, but highly recommend it. All right, and so the bike race has been done. It's now been a couple of hours, and when I race hard like that, I have no appetite, and so I really don't eat anything. I just drink water. I'm trying to rehydrate. I'm going through several scoops of this. I've already had 4 scoops of the Perry Light, trying to stay hydrated. And so once I get this down, I'll be at about 2,500 calories a day, already over 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And then after this, I'll eat again in several hours from now when I'm hungry. It'll be my final meal before bed. All right, and so with technology going, it completely erased all of the footage of my last meal. And so what I ate was, I had 1 of these pieces of steak, I had a cup of wild rice cooked, and I had 5 servings of cottage protein pudding. Obviously, it's in my cookbook. You can see exactly what the meal is. It tastes amazing. You need to try it. And then before bed, I had 2 caramel smoothie yogurt ice cream bar. And so there's my full day of eating. If you're interested in the cookbook or the Hard and Last Time supplements, obviously go to my website, use code Greg for 15% off. And if you liked the video, like it. And of course you did. If you're still watching, you must have liked it. Also, subscribe and click the bell button. Watch one of those 2 bloops, one of them over there. Also, for coaching plans by me and my team, phone consults, everything, head over to my website. Also, the free diet and training program, it's close to 50 pages as well. You can become one of the over 300,000 newsletter subscribers. And so head over to my website right now. And until next time, I am out.